Good morning. It's our third and final day in Seville.
Today, we're going to go and have a look at the Cathedral of Sevilla, including the tower. I'm going to have a lovely view from up there. After that, we're going to go and check out the Alcazar Palace, followed by a coffee in the most beautiful and most lavish hotel in Sevilla, Alfonso XIII. Join us. Let's go.
Let's go.
Catedral de Santa Maria de la Sede, better known as the Sevilla Cathedral, is probably the most recognizable landmark of the city. This grand Roman Catholic cathedral was built on top of a former mosque to demonstrate the city's wealth, as it had become a major trading center in the years after the Reconquista in 1248. In 1172, the Almohad Caliph Abu Yaqub Yusuf ordered the construction of a new grand mosque for the city. Construction lasted for 26 years and it was finally completed in 1198. Shortly after Sevilla conquest by Ferdinand III, Yaqub Yusuf Mosque was converted into the city's cathedral. The builders preserved some elements from the ancient mosque. The most prominent, of course, is the minaret, which was converted into a bell tower, known as La Giralda. Built to resemble the minaret of Koutoubia Mosque in Marrakesh, Morocco, this imposing tower is 105 meters tall and was one of the most important symbols in the medieval city.
How's the view?
Amazing.
Just don't forget your earplugs. If one of those bells ring, you might go deaf.
Construction continued until 1506, and after its completion, Sevilla Cathedral supplanted Hagia Sophia as the largest cathedral in the world. That title was held by the Byzantine Church for 1,000 years. Built in the Gothic style, the cathedral is a masterpiece of architecture and art, and its grandeur is a testament to the power and wealth of the Catholic Church in Spain during the Middle Ages. According to a local oral tradition, the members of the cathedral chapter said, "Let us build a church so beautiful and grand that those who will see it finished will take us for mad." This was the site of baptism of Infante Juan of Aragon in 1478, the only son of the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand II of Aragon and Isabella I of Castile. Its royal chapel holds the remains of the city's conqueror Ferdinand III of Castile, his son and heir Alfonso the Wise, and their descendant King Peter the Cruel. Christopher Columbus and his son Diego are also buried in the cathedral. Columbus's remains have been moved several times, including the present-day Dominican Republic and Cuba. But after Cuba became independent following the Spanish-American War in 1898, at least some of these remains were moved back to the Sevilla Cathedral and were placed on an elaborate catafalque. The interior has the longest nave of any cathedral in Spain. The central nave rises to a height of 42 meters. And in the main body of the cathedral, the most noticeable feature is the vast Gothic retablo of carved scenes from the life of Christ. This altarpiece was the lifetime work of a single craftsman, Pierre Dancard. Expect to be amazed by the intricate details of the architecture, the stunning works of art including paintings, sculptures, and stained glass windows, and of course, the rich history of this landmark. The cathedral is open to visitors throughout the year, and guided tours are available to help visitors explore its treasures. There is a lot to see here, so allocate enough time to fully explore this incredible landmark. The Cathedral of Sevilla and La Giralda are an essential part of cultural heritage of Sevilla and Spain as a whole, not to be missed on your visit to this incredible city.
When did they get some
The Royal Palace of Alcazar of Sevilla was built for the Christian king Peter of Castile. It was built by Castilian Christians on the site of an abbaded Muslim Alcazar, or residential fortress, which was destroyed after Christian reconquest of Sevilla in 1248. In the year 712, Sevilla was conquered by the Umayyad Caliphate, and around 914, after a revolt against Cordoba's government, the first Caliph of Al-Andalus, Abd ar-Rahman III, built a fortified construction in place of a Visigoth Christian basilica. It was a roughly square enclosure of about 100 meters long on each side, fortified with walls and towers. In the 11th century, during the tapas period, the Abbadid king Al-Mu'tamid expanded the complex, and the new palace was called Al-Mubarak. Towards the 1150s, the Almohad Caliph began to develop Sevilla as their capital in Al-Andalus, and the Almohad governor extended the fortified complex, nearly doubling its size. At least 6 new courtyard palaces were constructed in the old enclosures, and 9 palaces were added in the western extensions. In 1163, the Caliph Abu Yaqub Yusuf made the Alcazar his main residence in the region, and further extended and embellished the palace complex in 1169, adding 6 new enclosures. Except for the walls, nearly all previous buildings were demolished, and a total of approximately 12 palaces were built. Among the new structures was a very large garden courtyard, now known as the Patio del Crucero, which stood in the old Abbadid enclosure. During the 500 years of construction, various architectural styles succeeded one another. There are no remnants of the initial design, but the structure was probably refurbished with elements of Islamic ornamentation and patterns. The palace was remodeled with Gothic and Romanesque elements in the 13th century, and the 16th century saw a major addition built in the Renaissance style. Along these designs, Islamic decoration and ornamentation was widely used. After damage by the 1755 Lisbon earthquake, the facade of Palacio Gótico overlooking the Patio del Crucero was completely renovated using Baroque elements, and today the palace represents a unique blend of architectural styles. So, that was the Palace of Alcazar. Very impressive. Highly recommended. If you come to Sevilla, definitely visit this place. And I think you need about 2 hours to fully explore the place. We were planning to visit the Alcazar yesterday, but the King of Spain decided to visit Sevilla, and he was staying here, so Alcazar was completely closed to the public. But we made it today. Now we're going to Alfonso XIII to have a refreshing drink. This is one of the most lavish and the most expensive hotels in Sevilla. All of the celebrities that come visit Sevilla stay here. Let's check it out. Designed by the architect José Espiau y Muñoz, the historic Hotel Alfonso XIII was built between 1916 and 1928 and officially inaugurated on the 28th of April 1929, especially for the Ibero-American Exposition of 1929, which we talked about in the previous video. During the Second Republic, its name was changed to the Hotel Andalusia Palace, but later recovered its original name. Its facade and its overall construction display a significant wealth of decorative elements and details, however built from materials that could well be considered as frugal or simple, mostly brick, plaster, wood and ceramics. The hotel has an inner courtyard or a patio, which is a typical feature of the region.
So we just had a refreshing drink in Alfonso XIII, and next we're gonna go to Bodega Santa Cruz, a very famous tapas place. Couldn't get in last time because it was completely packed, so hopefully we'll have better luck this time.
The interior puts forth a display of wealth and status. Arches and columns decorated with elaborate hanging lamps and fine carpets from the Royal Tapestry Factory. The building has a total of 147 guest rooms, and each is unique. There is also one royal suite, which is used by the royal families during the visit to Sevilla.
That was the Alfonso XIII. Really fancy. Definitely you can come in for a drink. It's a little bit more expensive than the rest of the places, but not that much. So guys, the gods of fortune were on our side today. We have managed to get a table at Bodega Santa Cruz. We got clams,
White wine
some
sauce,
bread, chorizo,
spicy chorizo,
and a pork chicken with potatoes.
and ham croquetas come in.
Very good.
I will try your sauce to dip a bit. Yeah, this is good. Wow, like proper stew. The little spoon.
We're standing in front of the Salvador Church in Sevilla. This is the second largest church, second to the Cathedral of Sevilla. Let's go and check it out.
The Salvador Church of Sevilla was originally a Visigoth one and was later converted into a mosque. During the Moorish rule, it was the main city mosque until the Grand Mosque was built, which would eventually become the modern-day Cathedral of Sevilla. Centuries later, following the Reconquista, it was in ruins, and in 1671 it was demolished to begin its reconstruction, preserving the base of the former minaret and the courtyard filled with orange trees. The design of the facades was carried out by the architect of the Granada Cathedral, José Granados de la Barrera, in 1682. The execution of the project was entrusted to Francisco Gómez Septién, who unfortunately died before completing it. He was succeeded in 1696 by Leonardo de Figueroa, who carried out the closing of the walls, the construction of the dome, and the architectural decoration of the interior, completing these tasks in 1712. In 2003, it would once again be subjected to extensive restoration work, directed by the architect Fernando Mendoza Castells, which ended in the early 2008. Its interior is an outstanding example of Baroque architecture, and the stained glass windows in the dome cast mesmerizing colorful patterns. The building was reopened on October 22, 2008, with the presence of King Juan Carlos I and many other prominent officials. I know I said it before, but I think this is one of the most beautiful churches I've seen. We are now making our way to check out Calle Sierpes. Since the reconquest of the city by Ferdinand III in the 13th century, the street was renamed Espaderos because the sword makers had their hospital and their brotherhood here.
It used to be a very important trading place back in the days. So if you want to get a good shopping done, you should come here.
It is not known when or why it was renamed Sierpes. The name Sierpes first appears in the ordinance from the 15th century ordered by the Catholic monarchs. There are many stories surrounding the origin of the name, but I will tell you the legend of the serpent. In the 15th century, children began to disappear from the city and people didn't know what was the cause of it. One day, a stranger by the name of Melchor de Quintana de Argueso appeared at the house of Alonso de Cardenas, commander of León and the regent of the city. The stranger told that he had rebelled against the king by the order of Duke of Arcos, but since the rebellion failed, he was taken to the royal prison of the city. In his cell, he began to make a tunnel to escape and managed to reach the ancient sewers made by the Romans, where he discovered the cause of the disappearance and said that he would reveal it in exchange for his pardon. Melchor, Alonso, and 2 guards made their way into the sewer and found a snake about 6 meters long, with a knife stuck in it, and the remains of children on the ground. Melchor said that he had killed the snake when he found it the first time he descended into the sewers. Alonso ordered the snake to be removed and exposed for a while in Espadero Street, and people coming to see it from all over the city. After a few months, the bachelor Melchor, already free of all crimes, went on to marry the daughter of Alonso de Cardenas himself.
I think this concludes our tour around Sevilla, and I'm sure we're going to come back because this city deserves a lot more time. Did you like it?
I do. Sorry, I'm speechless. Just being extremely exhausted, but we had the best time. I think we maxed out these 2 days and seen more than is possible. So I highly recommend to come and pay a visit to Seville, and if you can afford, ideally stay for at least 3 days or more.
And if you have any questions, if you would like some tips, drop us a comment below. We will be happy to help you out and answer any questions you may have. Because we spent the last 3 days exploring this beautiful city. We went all around. We've seen most of the places that you might want to visit. So,
including amazing
comment
tapas
below.
restaurant.
Exactly. Food, drink, everything. We hope you enjoy this series and join us next time to do it all over again. Take care.